What is up, YouTube? Surprise, surprise. Who's all here? Say hello. Let us know what you're wearing. Let us know where you're watching from. It's actually a holiday here in Canada. I think it's cross country, or maybe in just half of the provinces. I don't know. It's family day, so it's a paid day off where we get to spend time with our family. Ironically, I'm by myself today. All the kids left yesterday. They wanted to go home to their PlayStations, so it's all good. Rich Mitch in the house. Honest J-Bone. Loyalty. Is that what you were wearing? What is that? Loyalty. I got a little thing here. Yeah, I had a shave. It's so cold here in Ontario, like so frigid that my skin became so dry, and with the beard, no matter how much I try to moisturize, it could never get through to my skin. And when I ended up shaving, you know, I had all that like really dry skin. But it's nice. It's nice. It feels good to have my face back. I'm not used to the beard. I'm not a beard guy. It's okay once in a while just for change, but I thought it aged me quite bad. David, thank you, David. Had a haircut too. All the barber shops are shut down here still, so I had to find a rogue barber. It's actually my barber. I just went to his house, and the fucker charged me more at home than he does from his barber shop. It's almost like it's like a COVID surcharge. I heard some countries, is it in the UK? They're charging a COVID surcharge for shipping product. Man, you're gonna probably see a whole lot more of that in the future. What's up, George? Rogue Barber. How's it going, George? Good to see ya. Who else is in here? David. Carlos. Hi from Ecuador. Oh, interesting. Ecuador. Rob. Oh, Saudi Arabia. Wow. If I could grow a beard, I'd be a beard guy. You know, some guys, George grows a great beard. I prefer to be clean shaven. I like a little bit of stubble. I get a lot of comments on my videos saying, you know, grow a beard, you know, it suits you. And then I go to my parents' house and my dad's like, shave that fucking beard off. Like, everybody's got something to say, right? Like, what I want and what I feel doesn't matter. What's up, Lyndon? My brethren from Jamaica. We got Ken from Boston. My buddy George. Thank you, George. George has always got something good to say. Yeah, so I got a haircut. I'm not wearing any fragrance. All I'm wearing is this for moisturizer. I love this stuff. Highly recommend it. It is a little bit pricey, but this is a 200 ml bottle of Chanel. It's body oil, but I use this on my face, and it's literally the best thing that I've ever had. The best product. It moisturizes really good. It keeps my face like from being dry. It lasts all day. It only takes a little bit, like just a little dab, like the size of a nickel. And I rub that on, and you know, it's called Orient, but it doesn't, I don't know if it's supposed to smell Oriental or to me, it's all rose, like dewy, fresh spring rose. And the smell only lasts, you know, it's probably less than 10 minutes, but even though the smell is gone, it's not overpowering at all. I can feel it like on my skin all day, and I love it. And I got this for myself last Christmas. So the Christmas of 2019, and you can see how much, you know, I've used a lot of this. I use this almost on a daily basis. It's really oily. That's why the bottle's like that. But yeah, that's that. Had a shave, had a haircut, spoke with my perfumer this morning. That was really cool. We had a Zoom call at 6 a.m. and we connected and talked for almost an hour and a half. Very interesting. It's good to talk to a perfumer and get a completely different perspective about perfumes than what I'm used to about seeing on YouTube or reading in the forums. We're just talking about notes and accords and feelings, but there's so much chemistry behind it that the perfumer spoke about today, and maceration process and how big brands don't really macerate. They don't. It takes time, and you need to develop. There's almost a timeline to it. He's like, so I'll create the fragrance. I will, blend it in alcohol, and I'll let it sit for a week, and I'll smell it, I'll judge it, I'll put some thoughts on paper, and I'll let it rest, and I'll come back after 2 weeks, and I'll do the same process again. I'll smell it, I'll judge it, I'll put my thoughts down on paper, and I'll come back after 3 weeks and after 4 weeks. I think he goes about 4 or 5 weeks, and then he just kind of makes a decision as what's the best timeline for maceration. When does it smell the best? And then he'll kill it at that. If he feels like it's 3 weeks, there's a way to end that maceration, the process. And he called it something like, you just got to freeze it. You got to put it at a certain temperature, and that ends the process to maceration, which is pretty cool. Because I never, you keep hearing about maceration and how perfume ages and it's supposed to come together, but I never really knew how it worked. So that was pretty nice, pretty cool. Yeah, I've been wearing. Actually, it was Valentine's Day yesterday. What'd you guys all do for Valentine's Day? Maria got me flowers, and it was so weird because I knew it was Valentine's Day, but I didn't really plan anything. And I went to go drop my kid off at work, and he works very close to where she lives. And she messaged me in the morning. She's like, "Stop by after you drop Daniel off to work." And I was like, "Okay." And I came over, and you can probably see like all the roses back there. She got me like, I don't know, what's that? It's not a dozen, but it's not 2 dozen either. So I was like, oh, wow. Okay, that's really nice. I didn't get her anything for Valentine's Day, but it is her birthday in, I think it's Wednesday, the 17th. And the last time she was here, she loved Diaghilev. She picked up my bottle of Diaghilev off the counter, and she was like, oh my God, like she almost fell over literally at, she was, and I was surprised that she liked it so much just because of how much jasmine it has in there. She doesn't like jasmine or white florals. And she kept asking me like, where did you get this? Where can I get this? How much does it cost? And I didn't want to say anything because it is like $1,000 bottle of perfume. And I was a little bit embarrassed. I was like, oh man, because it is quite excessive. It's a luxury. And I know she's not into, material things. She doesn't collect. She doesn't fill herself with material stuff, but she really did like that. And I didn't want to tell her. I was like, since she loves, I've never seen her react such a way to a perfume. And I was like, maybe I'll get this for her birthday instead. So I got her a bottle of Diaghilev. I went to a Maximum Fragrance on Friday, and Samir gave me a fantastic price. I think to be honest, he gave it to me below his cost, like just a little bit, not a whole lot. And he's like, he called it a Valentine's Day discount. So I was like, all right. So I went and I dropped the kid off yesterday or Saturday night, and I sent the bottle in with her, and she was like so surprised and shocked and very grateful. So, and I guess that was kind of my Valentine's Day gift to her. I'm not crazy about Valentine's Day. I mean, it's nice to recognize somebody, but I just don't like the whole how it's commercialized, I think. You know what I mean? Like a dozen roses here during any week is like I don't know, $15 or $20, but as soon as it's Valentine's Day, they jump up to $60. You know, not cool. So anyway, I got her a bottle of Diageo, and she loved it. She absolutely loves it, and it smells different on. It's interesting to smell it on her, and see how it differs on her than on me. But it's very incensey. It's much more incensier on her than it is on me. Let's see what you guys are up to. Yeah, it is very much like Mitsuko. Maybe even a better version of Mitsuko. Nice haircut. Thanks, Lyndon. Hi from Dubai. Hello, Dubai. I feel you, George. My dad says the same thing. He's like, shave that beard. I don't know. He never liked beards. I've never seen my dad in the beard either. He's always clean shaven. Maybe it is a cultural thing. He can never stand it, but he's never really said anything up until the last time I saw him, which was last weekend. I like Twilly a lot. I don't like the flankers though. Hey, what's up? $11 is nice. It's actually really cold, and I got up really early. I went to bed really late. Obviously, it's a holiday here. We're not working. And I got up at 6 to talk to the perfumer about these briefs. I'm still not going to say anything. I'm going to enjoy this whole process. I'm going to keep it to myself for a bit. This is actually, I think, the best part. I know a lot of people would say, oh, you probably can't wait to get your bottles in the package, in the box, and ready to send them out. No, this to me is what it is. This is what is fulfilling to me, is the creative part. So I am really enjoying this. Never really done anything like this before, but yeah, I got up early, 6 o'clock. I didn't know what to do after. There's nobody here. I was like, I don't want to clean. The place is pretty clean. So I wanted to go for a run, but it's like -10. So I'm going to wait till maybe closer to mid-afternoon. The sun's not coming up. It's really dry. It's cold. It's gray. It's dreary. It looks miserable as F out there. So I'm kind of scared to go out, if I'm honest, but it is absolutely freezing. Have I tried the new? No, I don't know what this is. The oil douche, however you pronounce it. I'm not familiar with that. All right, Cape Town. Awesome. Wearing ombre leather. I like ombre leather. I might do it this week or next week, but who knows? I don't know. I don't have a schedule or a timeline. I'm just going to go by feeling. 21 in Cape Town. Wow. I can't wait for it to be 21 here again. She is great. She is. And how many guys can vouch for their ex-wife? Like literally, how many guys can say they have a fantastic ex-wife? What's up, Rizard? Hi, Tina. I think Tina's in Germany, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, she did. Diaghilev is not like Heritage. Diaghilev is more like Mitsuko. So it's very mossy, leathery, spicy, really nice cinnamon spice, jasmine floral accord. The dry down gets kind of dirty on me, like almost sweaty. Cumin comes out. Really beautiful fragrance. Yeah, that's right. It's supposed to be like Mitsuko. I get asked this a lot. Are you not afraid sunlight? Well, right now there's no sun. It's all it's like white sky. I don't see blue. I don't see clouds. Everything is overcast and there's no sun. So there's no sun coming in here. Yes, there's light, but I'm not afraid that light's going to damage my collection. No, because there's no direct sunlight. The sun is actually overhead right now. And right about 2 o'clock, it'll start to peek in. And that's when I'll shut my blinds, no doubt. But there's no sun hitting the fragrances right. That's just a reflection of light. That's not sun at all. On the those are the Guerlain art and materials. Yes, you can be my Valentine as well, Justin. But you're gonna have to get your own Diaghilev. Sorry, man. Where do we go? I keep losing these comments. They just fly by so quickly. All right, here we go. What do you wear? I'm actually not wearing anything yet. I'm not wearing anything yet. I do have something. I'm just wearing this. You got to pay the troll toll, I guess. I'm not sure what that means, but Nightwing, and that's Jad, I believe. Yeah, because I'm streaming from a much earlier time. I'm normally at work at this hour, but our workplace is shut down, which is weird because we usually work during the holidays as well. Yeah, Diaghilev is. You could have came on, Rich Mitch. You could have came on. Next time, though. What's the progress of my own fragrance? Well, the progress is he's just putting his thoughts together on paper, and we're going to connect again next week. So he hasn't actually started mixing anything yet. Today we discussed, like, he has all my briefs, and we just kind of discussed, man, we discussed a lot of things. We discussed materials, the kind of the price point, what supplier I'd like to use. Like, he has a couple of suppliers that he works with. The cost of raw materials, what my budget is, stuff like that. We also talked about accords and some notes and things. I told him, like, since there's going to be 3 perfumes, I really want something to bring them all together, like an aspect that runs throughout. So there's an aesthetic, you know, there's a soul to them, you know what I mean? Something that kind of unifies them. That's really important to me, that there's, you know, a direction here, and he follows it. And I think he gets the gist of it. He's really excited about the notes that I've chosen. I think he's really excited for the project, actually. Italic from Zer. I'm not familiar with that. There's actually quite a bit of Zerjoff that I really want to try. Carnal Flower. Love that. I love Carnal Flower. Santal Royal. I love Santal Royal as well. Did I reveal it? No, maybe next week or the week after I'll do it. Yeah, I'm excited for the Hermes as well. I have a feeling I'm going to be a little bit underwhelmed, just like a lot of the things I have been from Christine Nagel. I just have a feeling it's going to be too fresh for my taste, which I'm hoping it won't be, but Elixir de Merveille, I like it. That's the original, right? No, that's Eau de Merveille. Which one's the Elixir? I don't believe I have the Elixir. I think for the cold weather, the ombre is probably best. What's up, Hills? All right, so whoever's sending me voice messages, obviously I'm not going to listen to them right now, so you need to stop that. What's up, Daver? What's up, kid? How you been? Hi, Katie. Cumin barf. I love cumin, and I love the aspects that it brings to perfume. It has that very sweaty. Stop. Fucker. Maybe I should play these out loud for everybody to hear. And we might get a surprise. So yesterday, I'm not wearing anything today, but yesterday I did wear this Rose and Queer. And I'm not sure if you remember my video of this. I fucking went on a barrage telling Frederick Mull we want to redo because it doesn't smell like rose or leather. And, I think they've gone on to say there is no actual rose in here. They use the geranium to recreate that sparkling rose, which I get. I can see it from a distance. And the leatheriness, if anything, I find this a little bit salty. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. It's a very abstract perfume. There's a lot of reflection of light in here. It's green. It's very bitter. To me, I get a lot of galbanum in the opening, like cutting open a stem of galbanum. Salty. It's still not really what I would expect for a perfume called Rose and Queer, because, obviously it's not. I think maybe it's just too floral or sharp, or it's interesting, no doubt, and it's an excellent perfume. I guess my thoughts are still, I do like it, but there's just no rose, like real rose. The rose in here is all geranium, sparkling green geranium. I like Diaghilev more than Haute Luxe. You know what? I've really been enjoying Roja lately, and I know they're expensive as hell, but they're very interesting, no doubt. I got one more Roja. Maybe I'll open it later. I haven't opened it. It's here somewhere. I forgot where I put it, but yes, I am very excited about this tobacco color. I'm not sure what that means. I'm guessing there's tobacco in there. I'm always excited every time a new Dior comes out, every time a new Chanel comes out, or Hermes, or even the Cartier. Frederick Mull, anytime there's a big release, a Guerlain, I'm excited. Yeah, Roja does take a lot of his fundamentals from Guerlain, and you can't blame him because they've got such a rich and deep history, and such a philosophical approach to perfume. So, and all he does is really upgrade on that. He uses far better materials, be it naturals or synthetics, and improves on them. It's just a reflection. There's no sunlight coming in here. That's right. I don't have any pants on. Does anyone wear pants when they live stream? Nothing wrong with that. We all store our fragrances differently. So here's what I wore. I've been wearing this too, and I love this. If I had to recommend one Le Labo, I know a lot of us aren't fragrance enthusiasts, aren't crazy about Le Labo, and it's probably for the same reason. They smell very choppy and synthetic and unfinished. But this is one I love, and I'll always recommend this. Some people find it too sweet. I know Christo found this really too sweet and didn't like the vanilla. But here, the vanilla to me is very subdued. It's not sweet at all. and it really lingers in the background. It's more of a dry vanilla than a sweet kitchen vanilla. But I love this. It's just so smoky and resinous, dark. It's got slight green earthy elements to it. It's got that birch tar and leather. Absolutely beautiful. It's very ashy. I'm going to put a little on. It's a very bold and powerful fragrance, though. It smells like barbecued meat. It's so smoky in the opening. It's always smelled like barbecue meat. And I know once you get familiar with a fragrance, your perception changes, but this is still like barbecued meat with barbecue sauce just going on a grill. Patchouli can do that. Love that. Chanel No. 5 body oil. I love that. It's so good. It's almost like a different concentration of No. 5. It's so oily too. It's almost like you can use it almost like for a moisturizer. 95 watching now. Wow. Always impressed with the number of viewers I get in here. Thank you everybody for dropping by. I don't know. Are you guys all at work or y'all have the day off? What's going on? Are you guys all on like COVID relief or shut down? Watching from Liverpool, UK, wearing Izzy Miyake Ombre. No, I don't think I've ever smelt that, but I've seen, you know, the hype about it. Do I have the bottle, the name, and the packaging? I don't. I have tons and tons of samples. I don't know if you can see. Where are we here? No, here. Right in the top shelf, I have that whole top shelf is littered with empty sample bottles. Still really looking into them. I'm getting samples coming in all the time. I should have a sample box of caps coming in either today or tomorrow. So I haven't settled on anything quite yet, but speaking with the perfumer today, he has connected me with a filler in Paris. So it might be that all my bottles will be finished in Paris. So they'll be filled and labeled and boxed and everything will be manufactured there, which I think is fantastic because I was kind of worried about that and how I would do it. Like, would I do it here in Toronto, have everything shipped and put it together? I'm not sure. So I'm going to have to connect with this filler and we'll see. They might end up being done in Paris. So that's news. That's information. Bertrand Duchefort. Good guess. Yeah, good guess. I like Duchefort. Yeah, I've heard this before. Rosenqueer is Elena's take on Gallo. You know, I think I actually prefer Gallo. It's more my thing, even though I don't like the metallicness. But I do wonder if Elena had a say in that, if that's something that they did together while Elena was still with Hermes. There's a thought, considering, you know, you get the similarities. So there is some connection between the two, definitely. And I've heard other people speak of this as well. Frederick Mull seems like a ripoff. Well, yeah, there is no rose in Rosenqueer. It's a geranium, like they've used geranium to represent rose, which they do in most perfumes anyway. Geranium is a cheaper alternative to rose, which does very similar things. Yeah, I actually find Gallo a little bit dirty. Roja was with Guerlain for like 3 decades, I believe. So he has access, he did have access to all the formulas. And and perfumes. I think he was head of their marketing, or I don't know if he was actually perfuming, but he spent a lot of time there. Pants has a different meaning here. Does that mean like something sucks? Because I know Rich Mitch uses that word a lot. Something is pants. That's cool. Just don't stand up, eh? I mean, by all means do, but don't stand up. Just blind bought Heritage EDT, a beautiful patchouli on me. Don't understand why people often call it a fougere barbershop scent. What's your well, what is your take on it? What do you get from it? To me, I reviewed it and I said it is a woody oriental with patchouli and amber, a very churchy, rich, golden powdery hues to it, but it does have elements of barbershop. It does have that I get in the opening, the anise. It's this very warm, creamy shaving foam. I get aspects of the Chypre accord in the base. There's that moss and castoreum sort of leathery, I do get that, but to me, it's mainly a woody oriental. Love lavender. One of my favorite materials. Maria's actually in the process of making candles, and I was there the other day, and she pulled out all her oils, and she was like, "Let's see how good your nose is." And she opened up all these vials, but it was all like, it wasn't notes. It wasn't like lavender or rose or jasmine. It was like, so I smell, I'm like, this is weird. It smells highly synthetic. And then I'd look at the label and be like, birthday cake flavor. I'd never guessed that in a million years, right? I like Aoud 27 a lot as well. Very skanky and dirty. Never really tried any Hiram Greens, but I understand he's Canadian. I think he works out of Europe, but he has a Canadian background. Hope your dogs are okay, Taffy. You breed dogs, don't you? I think I saw you talking about breeding dogs. President's Day. Is it really a holiday in the US? President's Day? What's up, Serapio? You actually gave me a good laugh reading one of your Facebook posts the other day. If you guys don't know Serapio, go check him out on Facebook. And he was talking about how he was logged into his real account and his wife saw his Serapio Silva account and asked him, who is Serapio Silva? I got a good chuckle from that. Hi, Yara. What's up? How are you doing? Arnold's in the house from Boston. Angelique Sulaplu. I love that. I love the earthiness and the spiciness of Angelique Sulaplu. To me, honestly, it's more orris than Angelica. I get the powderiness from the Angelica, the root, but I feel like it's much more orrisy. Sergio, hello. Lithuania in the house, 5 p.m. So it's 10. It's 10 o'clock here. I'm actually burning some incense right now as we speak. I found an old stash of incense I had. A lot of people have been asking about Francesca Bianchi on this channel. I'm not familiar. I'm thinking I'm going to order a sample pack and see what they're all about. But a lot of talk about them being all centered around sex somehow. So that'd be interesting. What's up, Duncan? Robert Duncan. No worries, I'm late for everything, so your excuse. What are my thoughts on L'Indemnidable? Do you think the Iris Pearl smells similar to Cuir de Russie EDP? For some reason, is similar to me. Okay, you know what? You want to talk about L'Indemnidable? Let me get my bottles. Give me a second. I got to turn this up. You'll see my tidy whities. All right, so you're asking about Iris Pearl. Here's Iris Pearl. Okay, and this is, let me take this off. This is actually a really nice Iris perfume, but it's very citrusy and it's got a lot of mimosa in here. And I picked up mimosa because I smashed my finger at work the other day. That's not dirt. That's blood underneath my nail. I hit it with a hammer. And sometimes when the pain is too much and it builds up too much pressure, I've got to take a little drill and drill a hole through the nail so I can relieve that pressure and all this blood comes flying out. I've done that, you know, dozens of times. That's the life of a tool maker. We're always hurting ourselves. I've got tons of scars and bruises. A lot of my fingers aren't even like, they're not even symmetrical. I've smashed them and beat them so many times. Like, look at that middle, look at the curve on that middle finger. Anyway, so the iris in here is very rubbery to me. It's earthy and it's fungal and it reminds me of mushrooms. And does it remind me of a Cuir de Russie? No, but it does remind me of several other Les exclusives. And it's almost like the same type of iris used in 31 Rue Cambon, Coco Noir in 1932. So Coco Noir is not a Les exclusive, but it definitely reminds me of 1932 and 31 Rue Cambon. Very earthy, mushroomy, rubbery, and fungal. And, you know, that's what I think of when I wear this. It's got a fresh citrusy opening and a floral. It's more floral than woody. It's not a woody iris. It is a floral perfume. I like this a lot. It's one of my favorites, but I think, you know, obviously Vanille Havane gets the most attention. It's a really grand perfume, and it's vanilla. Vanilla is an easy sell. You want to sell bottles of perfume, put vanilla and cacao and, you know, tobacco, and, you know, it's going to be a sure hit. But this is Musk de Sable, and this is a very bold perfume. It's a really high quality musk. It's not at all like that very cheap, clean linen musk or the white musk or the nitro musk or anything boring. This is very dirty. Turns animalic on me. It gets very sweaty. It kind of reminds me like of, you know, a whore in church. Somebody that's had sex all day and all night and gone to church in the morning without bathing, without cleaning up, and just covered up in perfume. Literally, it's incensey. It's smoky. I love the opening to this. It's lightweight and transparent, and it plays peekaboo. I love that. I like it much more than heavy, bold, obnoxious perfumes. That to me in itself gives it character. You know, it's very ghostly. I could be standing there and I won't smell anything, and then I'll go for like a short walk and I'll come around the corner, and a moment later it's like whoosh, the perfume catches up to me. You know what I mean? It's almost like a shadow that's following me. So I really like this. Challenging, yes, for sure. It can be. especially late in the dry down. It's very gray. I think there's some ambergris in here. It's dreary. It's rubbery as well. There's some orris. Really nice. I would highly recommend this to enthusiasts that aren't afraid to offend. Get on that. How do I lose these comments all the time? Yeah, I get it. All right, let me just find where I ended off. Oh, here we go. Okay. Good for you, Taffy. I love dogs. I've always loved dogs. My favorite type of dog is Schnauzer. I had a Schnauzer once. He passed away. I'd love to get a dog, a Schnauzer, but I'm gone for most of the day. I don't have anyone to take care of him. He'd be alone. I think it would be unfair for me, for the dog, for me to have one. Maybe when I retire, I'd love to have, one or two mini Schnauzers. I love the look of Schnauzers. They've got those beards. They've got the pointy ears and the mustache. They just kind of look aristocratic. Oh, we got somebody from Vietnam. Wow. Have I tried Bully? I've never heard of Bully fragrances. From Croatia. Have you tried Pure Distance M? Yes, I have. I love it. Very spicy. Very dark. Leathery, yes. Morning from Los Angeles. Did you enjoy the Super Bowl? No. I thought it was quite lame. I wanted Kansas to win. It's good to see Brady, still playing at almost peak level at his age, but it'd be nice to have somebody else come around. But, I want them to win because they deserve it. Obviously, Kansas didn't deserve it. They suck. Their offensive line sucked. Kermit was dropping back 10, 15, 20 yards every play. They just didn't deserve to win. What's up, Jonathan? What did you smell that you hit your finger? I can't remember what I was doing, but shit happens all the time when you're working in industry and in manufacturing. Yeah, I saw your video. I said that too originally. It was too sweet and it's not my thing. I ended up wearing it 5 days in a row and I loved it. The more I wear it, the more I wore it, the more nuances I was able to pick up. And it went from being, a tobacco vanilla, which we associate with the name, to I get this massive plum accord in the opening. Very smoky, leathery, almost animalic. It's just so rich and deep, and it's way more than just vanilla and cacao. Man, it's golden, it's rich, it's got this oriental base, very churchy, incensey. It's really nice. It's got almost it's got a high quality tonka bean as well as vanilla. And it's, the tonka is almost animalic. It's just like raw animalic tonka bean. It's so good. It's dry and leathery as well. Keep trying it, man. That's all I can say. I said the same thing. I'm not into these. Oh, it's probably the rum that you find too sweet. After you get used to it, you lose your focus on that sweetness and you start finding other things. You start to look for other things. But it is a very beautiful perfume. Like, honestly, I said I'm not into these sweet things. I just wanted to see what all the hype was about. And it's definitely worthy. It's great at that genre, at things similar to, I had to compare it to things like, let's say Musk Ravageur, Fève Delicieuse, and there was one other perfume. You know, it's almost like if you took, what was the other perfume I compared it to? Does anybody remember? But it's like if you took all of those, you know, you cut them in the middle, took a cross section of them, dropped a huge slab of leather in between, and brought them back. That's kind of what I get from Vanille Havane. But it doesn't really smell like any of those, just to give you an idea. Thoughts on Serge Lutens? I like Serge Lutens. No, I've never actually. Serge Lutens was my very first review. I know I never talk about them, but I do like the house, especially the earlier releases. I haven't smelled a lot of the newer stuff, but I do like Serge Lutens. Have you tried La Tessa from? I haven't. No, is that the Iris one? I love Rue Cambon as well. Love Mousse de Sable. Really, really love it. Creamy in my skin. Don't find it animalic for me. Smells like cream with sweet powder. And yes, it is peakable. Yeah, I get the powderiness, but late, like really late in the dry down, it just turns to sweat on me. Like, almost like a lover's sweaty skin that hasn't bathed in a few days. Really dirty. How much are they? Man, they're quite pricey for 50 mil. I think Lucky Scent lists them for 260 USD. I got them from Paris with 20% off. I can't remember how much they were. 210 euros maybe each. No, 15%. I got them before they went on 20% off. So right after I got them, like 2 weeks later, I got them for 15% off. They went to 20 from Sens Unique. They oftentimes have good sales. Cuir de Chine is I haven't smelt Cuir de Chine. Maybe I should. But that's an osmanthus leather. Yeah, they are very weak. They're very watery and airy. I don't dislike them, but it's not a house that I particularly get pulled to. What's your thoughts on Lalique fragrance? I honestly, I don't know enough to give you an opinion. I usually talk about the same perfumes. You know, you guys know my comfort zone and the things that I wear, and it's not very often that I go outside of those. But you know, unfortunately, there's just so many options that I can't possibly keep up. I love them. The little ratters, little terriers. What's up, Jared? How's your day going? Schnauzer. How do you say Schnauzer? It's Schnauzer, isn't it? Tina's from Germany, and I think Schnauzers are from Germany as well. They were originally bred in Germany, the little miniature Schnauzer. Yeah, Fosco, I did notice the mini in your thumbnail recently. I was like, oh, cool. You even got the cropped ears. I love the look of the cropped ears. The dock tail. What color is your Schnauzer? It looks like a salt and pepper from here. Yeah, the minis look awesome, and the giants look amazing too. I understand that the giant Schnauzer is what the police in Germany use, the Schnutzhund. Here in I think U.S. and Canada they use German Shepherds, but in Germany it's the Schnauzer, and they look intimidating. They look big and bold and powerful dogs, and the giants, they're all black, and they have this really menacing stance when when they're all on fours and they have their sights locked. They got the pointy ears. They look very intimidating. Here's a brand, Honest J Bone, Parlez-moi de Parfum, that I'm really interested in, and I'd love to try some of their things. That is Michael or Michel Elmirac. I know just from trying his stuff, I've always liked his work. So there's a couple that interest me, especially his Iris. So Stumptown, early Greek, he claims that the Iris from this Parlez-moi de Parfum is the absolute best that he's ever come across, which is very interesting to me because I love Iris. So I'd love to try that. Kermit. Yeah, I can never remember his name, so I just call him Kermit. Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes. Apparently his wife got offended during the game and didn't like the refereeing, and she made a post and she tagged Giselle in there, and Tom Brady's wife, calling, I don't know, it's like drama, stupid bullshit drama. Man, it's very different. The quality, the use of naturals is, I think it's higher. You know, Chanel and Guerlain are you know, they're just making way too much stuff where they don't have access. Like Lait Indemnidable is naturals where, you know, at a limited, it's limited. You can only make so much. You can't mass produce this stuff. Nobody can provide so much use of naturals. So it's very good. You know, try it. Get a sample pack and try it. Papyrus Oud is superb. You know what? I actually do not like papyrus, and I figured that out. I detest papyrus. Papyrus is in Santal 33, and I think that's one of the reasons I do not like it, and it doesn't agree with me. Papyrus is in a couple of Byredos. It's almost like Byredo is one of their signature notes, and I don't like those Byredos either. So I've never really gone along with papyrus. However, Gucci used it in Hortus Sanitatis, and it's got a really nice dry quality. And I love it. I love that Gucci. So that is got a big blast of papyrus. But Papyrus Oud sounds interesting. So it sounds right away, it's going to sound dry and smoky to me. Get that sweaty smell with vetivers. I wonder what that can be. But vetiver, you can do so many things with vetiver. It's got so many nuances. I love a crisp, woody vetiver more so than the wet, dank vetivers. I like the smoky, rooty aspects of vetiver. If you had Acro awake to Vanilla Man, you gotta. Yeah. Oh, okay. So it was, I compared Vanille Havan to, like, if you took Musk Ravageur, if you took Fève Delicieuses and Tobacco Vanille and chopped them down, you know, 1/3, and then dropped like a huge slab of leather, that's what you would get, you know, Vanille Havan. Something similar to that effect. I don't think it smells necessarily like any one of those, but that's kind of the direction it's going. And it's still good because it hasn't really hit like peak popularity yet. I can imagine once the influencers get their hands on it, it's just gonna like totally take off, because I think it's a lot better than things that it's things in its genre. I don't know. My SA just recently contacted me, like literally a month after I got my bottle saying, "Hey, Lilione is here. Like, do you want a bottle?" And I was like, I didn't respond. And then she messaged again. She's like, "Hey, do you want a bottle of Lilione? Let me know." And then the third day, she messaged me back saying, "I just saw your video and I feel really stupid," because obviously, I had posted my video with my bottle in it a month prior. Man, I didn't know dog breeders can go to jail for not adhering to regulations. Like, what do they do? Breed a white schnauzer and they got arrested? I don't like the look of the white schnauzers. I was really under the impression that they used the giant schnauzers. Italian greyhound named Donuts. I think George's dog, Picaloo, was a Italian greyhound. No, was it Italian greyhound? There's a dog that looks like the greyhound and it's much smaller. There's a greyhound, Italian greyhound. Is it the same thing? I love Iris as well, just because you could do so many different things to it, so many nuances and so many facets to it. It's one of the most expensive raw materials, only because it takes years after it's pulled or harvested. They need to dry it out for several years, 3, 4, 5 years before they can extract the oils from it. Oh, wow. So Alexandru tried 8 of the Parlemois and not a fan of it because they're similar to Dior. Not a fan of Dior, I guess. I'd like to know, too, when we're going to get a new Frederick Mull. It's been a while. I think the last release was it the Moon or was it Rose and Queer? And that was like, we're going back 2019. So hopefully soon. Which one is better, Frederick Mull Promise or Night? I prefer man, you're looking at 2 completely different price points as well. I mean, just based on perfumes, I would choose the Night, absolutely. Newfoundlander, is that your dog? Sitting here with my Newfoundland and Russian Terrier. Those things are massive, Newfoundlanders. I'm not sure what a Russian Terrier is. I agree with this. The Night is the best oud ever. How would you guys compare the Night, Frederick Mull's The Night, to, let's say, artisanal ouds? I got a comment on one of my videos not just a couple of days ago, actually, as some guy just like a raving lunatic saying, "Look how much you paid for the Night when you could have got Ensar oud for a fraction of it, and it's much better." I'm not familiar with a lot of those. The Night is gorgeous. I mean, in its own right. The Night, Dawn, they're both very beautiful perfumes. Those two are kind of on a level on their own. The Moon it's got some kind of synthetic qualities to it. It doesn't smell cheap or anything. They're high quality synthetics, but they're obviously there. I can notice them. But an excellent perfume. Maria flipped out when she had smelled it. What's your take on Rose de Jamal? All right, so I got that right here. Let's give this a sniff. I know a lot of people love this. I honestly like the Sabla better. My thoughts are still not. I can't form an opinion on this yet. It's more complicated than. It's a very fruity, dry rose. There's a lot going on here. I'm gonna hold off on that. Best purchase so far in 2021. Okay. I've only made 5 purchases. 4 are right here, and I've got one more. Hang on. Hang on a second, okay? I've got one right here. I've not opened this yet, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. Maybe you guys can guess. Guess what it is. I got this on the same time I picked up Maria's Diaghilev. There is, yes, George, Italian Greyhound. What's the bigger? So Piccolo wasn't the biggest size Greyhound. There was a, what's the regular Greyhound called then? The one that they race. It looks very similar to the Italian. Maybe there's 2 or 3 different breeds of them. Man, true story. The first time I went Schnauzer shopping for puppies, there was this lady here just outside of Toronto, and she was known to breed these beautiful dogs. And I went to her house just to kind of inspect. I was horrified and terrified. There must have been like 30 dogs in the house, from full grown to puppies, and there was piss and shit everywhere. Like, I didn't even want to sit down on the sofa because there was shit running like all down the sides of the sofa. There was piss in every corner. I couldn't breathe. It was just like a fucking nightmare. I swear I thought I was in a movie. Obviously I didn't buy a dog from her. I would never support that. But she ended up having to close her business, and she moved back to Germany as well. Oh, the Whippet. Yes, that's what I'm thinking about. The Whippet. The Whippet is the medium-sized. An Italian is the great Italian Greyhound is the biggest size. We've talked about this several times already. I'll reveal in the next week or two I'll reveal more information. Am I one of the only ones that really like Secretion Magnifique? Antoine Lee did a pretty good job. Okay, so I had heard so much about Secretions Magnifique, how disgusting it was, how it smelled like cum, piss, blood, saliva, all kinds of fluids, milk. And I was expecting to be horrified. I had smelled it when I went to visit Ashton in Tennessee. He had a bottle, and I was disappointed with it only because it didn't meet my expectations. I didn't think it was all that nasty. It wasn't nasty at all, actually. The only thing that turned me off was the metallic accord. I don't like metallic in perfume. See, Robert agrees. Secretions is lovely. I've never worn it, but do I worry about bottle never. No. Man, guys like Rich Mitch are buying vintages, 30, 40, 50 years that still stand up. So I've never smelt Sheep or Rouge, but considering it's an older Surge, I would probably guess it's good. Ensar Ouds are $700 for 50 mil. But are they much better? Like, how would you compare them to something like the Night or the Dawn? Fosco. Jonathan's saying it's good stuff too. I wouldn't. I got a couple of guys at work wearing Lamal. They seem to love it, and I can appreciate it on them. I don't necessarily want to wear it. So the Bortnikovs aren't animalic or fecal. See, I like the dirty aspects of the Oud. It's Italian Greyhound. Smallest Whippet, medium, and Greyhound is the biggest. Oh, okay. They look like noble dogs. You know, they've just got this really sharp lines to them. Really beautiful dogs. So I'm guessing these are pure Ouds that aren't really blended with other materials. Damn, Brady, you're Canadian. Like, it's family day. Do you not have the day off? What's up? Get paid to stay home. I thought Greyhound was it is. Where are we here? I don't. All I know is it should be out soon in the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping even sooner than that. There's another one, Eden Rock, coming out from Dior, which is supposed to be a fresh rose, which is interesting because they've got Le Col Noir, which is a fresh, dewy springtime rose. And even like the Peony, Holy Peony is very rosé. So I almost feel like they have that sector covered. So kind of worried about Eden Rock, which is going to be released soon by Dior. Yeah, secretion smells like warm milk with loose. I hate that metallic thing. Really, it's like if you've ever had pennies in your mouth, you know, that's ugh. Or a battery. If you ever put a battery to your tongue. Secretions really smells like you open a first aid kit. Bandages, nothing bad. Yeah, I like that smell. Antiseptic. That's what the Gucci is. Hortus Sanitatis is very antiseptic, very very mentholated. It's like you took ointment and just, you know, covered up a cut and put bandages on it. But then it dries down to something completely different. It's got this fishy aspect to it, but then it dries down with a lot of patchouli and ambers, resins, golden powders. So tincture is, I believe, just the way they extract something. You tincture ambergris, so you have this ambergris, and you have different extraction methods, and the tinctures, the oils that come out of it. If I want Limal, I prefer Reflection. I've never owned Reflection, man. Well, Kudvian did a great work on Limal. Smells like a French diaper. Reminds me when I was a kid in French kindergarten playing with plastic toys. A French diaper. I've never gotten the diaper thing from it. But I remember it was very minty and vanilla. It's changed a lot since it's came out. Or maybe it's just me. I'm not sure. But I remember it. It was much richer. And it was very bold. I find it today it's very different. It's almost like there's no depth to it. It lacks that interest factor. talking about dogs. I'd love to get a dog. I love dogs, but no, I don't have, I'm never home. So it'd be unfair for me to have a dog. It would be unfair to the dog, but I was talking about my love for schnauzers. Everybody's talking about their dogs. Such a sexy French Guido style. You find Lamal Guido-ish? I guess it is. It's like a club banger, and you would associate it with like Guido's going to the club and raising the roof, right? Yeah, I can picture that. This was supposed to come out last year. Oh, Edinburgh. Right before COVID. And I think there was another one as well that they postponed. I have a feeling the new Tom Ford Carlos mentioned is a tobacco Aoud signature line. I hope not. I hope it's a banger. Tom Ford needs to strip up their game for the masculine department, in my opinion. So tobacco Oud coming out in their signature line. That would be quite a bold move. I do like tobacco Oud. I mean, it's got poo aspects to it. So I'd be surprised if they did release that. But I'm surprised they released that freshie in their signature line. I specifically went to go smell it, and I was like, it's just really mundane. There's nothing to it. It just smells really fresh and not worth $240 or whatever that signature line goes for. This came up in my... Oh, that's cool. YouTube is recommending the video. Awesome. How many likes on this video? Smash that like button, guys. Recommending the video. Oh, here we go. 32 likes. It'll help with the algorithm. Yes, definitely rest in peace to BFL. His funeral's tomorrow. I didn't know that. Oh. Okay. Is anybody going? A lot of his videos have been popping up in my recommended. I guess they're getting a lot of traction. It's so sad. I was just kind of like thinking about the whole BFL thing, and he had a lot of trolls. A lot of people would bother him, and that really affected him. But now that he's gone, like the trolls, they kind of disappear. They go back into their holes. I'm like, what is it about? Like, what changes when somebody dies that has such an effect on these people? Yeah, I mean, if you're trolling, you're full of hate. There's hate inside of you. It's got nothing to do with Carlos. It's got everything to do with the person posting this. But what is it specifically when somebody passes? Is it fear? I met Carlos once in the perfume shop, and he walked around with Amber Absolute 30 ml decant, just kept spraying. That's a true frag head, right? That's awesome. Just kept spraying it everywhere you go. Can't stand the cinnamon. I love cinnamon, but what I don't like is like the hot tamale cinnamon, the really candy, spicy cinnamon. I don't like that kind of cinnamon either. Is that what you get in Lamal? That bothers me. That candy cinnamon. It would, but I'd be really surprised if they released this to the mainstream, considering it used to be private, just a few years back. Big difference between private and like an exclusive and mainstream signature line. I haven't. I don't think. Actually, I did try a couple of Fragrance du Bois when Carrar was here. He brought Fragrance du Bois. He brought Roja. He brought a lot of interesting houses. I got to be honest. Like the time that I tried them, just very very briefly, without going in depth, I wasn't impressed. They felt very very light and they felt like they lacked depth compared to everything else that we had smelt that day. So just judging it in that way, I wasn't crazy about them. I like this too. I'm actually thinking about picking up Metallique. Every time I walk past it, I got to spray it. Soapy aldehydic floral. I like that. And I keep thinking about it. Will I be getting Demi's fragrance? No, but I'd love to smell it. I'd love to see what she came up with. I saw her one of her videos where she was, it was about a week or two ago, where she was talking about the box to her Fragrance du Bois. And now that I'm doing this myself, and she said, you know, the box and the packaging is really expensive. She didn't want to reveal how much it was. But now that I'm doing the research myself, I can see how expensive packaging is. It's outrageous, really. The box is a very expensive aspect when it comes to the final price of the product. Rich Mitch, I hate florals. How can you be a perfume lover and not love florals? Like, florals are perfume. Like, flowers are natural perfume. Are any of the signature line new releases? They all seem to be so far discontinued private blends. Actually, Metallique was a new one. That's a new release. No guesses as to what this is, eh? I'll give you a hint. It is a Roja Dove. The huge similarities between MFK, Roja, and Fragrance. Well, it's more Roja and Fragrance du Bois than MFK. MFKs are a little bit different. Yes, Costa Azura was the one I was like, okay, it's nice, but you know, I wouldn't spend. I think it's $240 here in Canada for it. Lots of good guesses here. Lots of good guesses. And I wasn't planning on buying this. Like, I've always had it kind of in the back of my mind, like to blind buy it because I've never smelt it before. So I picked up Diaghilev for Maria, and then he had a tester of this. And when I sprayed on the tester, it was like, yeah, that sealed the deal. I was like, okay, I gotta get this. I was just like, it was love at first sniff. Samir, so yeah, I was talking to Samir and he was telling me about how he gets, or how perfume ends up at discounters. And he says it's not the brands that send these out to discounters. It's their vendors for some reason. Thank you, Cart. For some reason, the brand wants to, they actually want to ruin them. They want to go and destroy them, burn them, or just get rid of them. They don't want them to end up on discounters. So the vendor ends up getting paid for them, and the brand tells them to destroy them. And because the vendors are greedy, they end up selling these to discount shops, and that's how they end up there. And a lot of the times you'll see the packaging at the bottom has been opened and then resealed, and what the vendors are doing are scratching off codes that are not visible to the naked eye. So there is a code on there given to each vendor, so the brand knows where the bottle came from. All right. And I'm not sure if you can guess just by the color. Ta-da! Musk Oud. And I kept contemplating. I have Oud. I have Roja Oud. The last time I went, actually, I've had it for about a year. And I remember going to a Maximum Fragrance, and I was talking to somebody, and they were like, get Roja Oud. Like, if you're going there, get it. I was like, but I never smelled it. They're like, don't worry about it. Just get it. It's amazing. I was like, but it's $500 fucking dollars. Like, I'm not sure. And I'm not like the oud connoisseur either. I don't need to have every oud perfume. And then I bought it. I remember buying oud and then spraying it in the shop with Samir. And I'm like, fuck, if I had smelt this earlier beforehand, I wouldn't have bought it. I thought it wasn't my thing. And I was a little bit disappointed. And even Samir's like, yeah, I don't like it either. It's just way too rosy. And there's a lot of rose in it. So I was disappointed. I let it sit on my shelf. And then I remember taking it out the first time, and I was like, wow, it's really beautiful. You know, it just wears so cozy, so warm, and the way it just develops, it's really nice. Very woody and smoky, and it's got fruity aspects to it. I was like, man, don't judge a book by its cover, because, you know, things change. First impressions don't mean shit. All right. Oh, there's a warning on here. Roja Parfums warning. Special care must be taken spraying on light or delicate fabrics, as staining could occur. What? So there's the packaging. I'm just going to hold on to that. I'm not sure if you can see that. I got a really bad view here, so everything's reversed. Okay. There you go. White cap, crystal cap. What do you guys think of this? I wasn't sure. I kept asking people, should I get Musk Oud or Amber Oud? And it seems like all the heavier hitter guys, the guys that like bold, animalic, daring scents, said get the Musk Oud. And I wasn't going to get it until I sprayed on. I was like, oh my God, it's so good. All right, so I'm going to put a little of this on. I'm not wearing anything today. Man, it's so salty. I definitely get a huge blast of leather right off the top. So ashy, dry, spicy, leathery. But that musk, I think it's that musk. It almost feels like, I'm guessing it's a synthetic musk, but it feels like a deer musk. It feels very fatty. I love it. I love it. I think I love this more than the original Oud. The Oud is mostly rose on me. This has rose in it as well, but it's more dry, leathery, woody, and spicy, and very ashy. I imagine there's a lot of patchouli in here as well. You know what it reminds me of? It's very salty. So it reminds me of cured meat. If you've ever hung, let's say, a prosciutto to dry, if you have a cold cellar, my parents used to hang prosciutto. And in that cold cellar, they'd keep pop and alcohol, beer, wine, dried meat, sausage. And I'd go down there to, get my dad something, and they'd have like prosciutto hanging. It'd have to cure for a certain amount of time. And this is what that reminds me of, is that salty, dry meat. It's almost like that. The skin is really hard on a prosciutto, like the leathery skin and the fat. So it's that spot in between the dry skin and the fat. That's where they add the salt. They throw the salt on the skin. This is what that reminds me of. Very musky. It is dirty. I don't know if I'd call it barnyardy, though. It opens up really bold, but then it feels like it really comes back. It pulls down to the skin and just settles. A Roja bespoke. I wonder what those go for. Any idea? I remember talking to Thierry Wasser, and I think I remember him saying a Guerlain bespoke was about $35,000 US. Yeah, I don't know what a Roja would cost. I already have Diaghilev. Rich knows because I told him. No, actually, I didn't tell him, but I was talking to him while I was at Samir's, and he knows I was raving about it. Two other releases from Tom Ford coming. One is a gold and one in a green bottle. Interesting. Green bottles. For me, I thought Tobacco Oud had a fecal accord right in the opening. Is it challenging? No, I wouldn't say it is. Maybe if you're new to perfume and you haven't smelt a lot of things, it may be. But if you've been around and you have a large palate, you've smelt a lot of things, I don't think it'll challenge you at all. Bobby Orr in the house. What's up, Bobby? What's up, pervert? I might have to get Amber Oud as well. Are they similar to the Oud? You can find these heavily discounted, much cheaper than retail. We can't even get them retail in Canada. There's no place to get them. Are you going to resell these? Like 4 bottles of Amber Oud. What were they going for? They had the clear liquid. I'm not sure what it's called. What's that line called? Parfum Précieux, or I don't know, Crystal or something, the version with the clear liquid where it doesn't stain the clothes. I like the color of this, the dark color, much better than the clear liquid. Even though, do they charge a premium for the clear liquid? Raj, what's up, Raj? My own Musk Oud might be my favorite Roja. I like it a lot, but I think I prefer Diaghilev. Not a little more, but more than a little more. I like that green, mossy earthiness, the leather, and I love the leather accord in Diaghilev. The cinnamon, that is a great use of cinnamon. We were talking about spicy cinnamon earlier. Diaghilev has an amazing cinnamon. Everything just kind of flows really nice in Diaghilev. Obviously, I haven't worn this full out, so I can't give it a fair comparison, a good shakedown, but just seeing what I see here and comparing it to Diaghilev, I like Diaghilev much more. Diaghilev to me is very moody. Using his own Musk. Both are a must-have. Yeah, I agree. You don't find an animalic. That salty accord to me is animalic on its own. Salty leather. I don't think anybody unboxed more perfumes this year than Rich Mitch. What are you at this year already? I know you're close to 30. Anna's in the house. Happy family day, Anna. Anna lives just down the street in the same town as I. You need to smell Diaghilev, Anna. I know you love Mitsuko. I can drop off a decant of Diaghilev. Just let me know. You know what? You know what the Musk Oud kind of reminds me of? And this is just very vague. Bois de Mysterio from Guerlain or the old Songe de Bois de Thé. I get a lot of similarities. It doesn't compare to the Malt Ouds at all. It's more, is there... It's much more like Songe. Very smoky and dry, woody. Dry wood. Not barnyard. It's not barnyard. It is animalic, though. Animalic doesn't necessarily mean skanky. I prefer the Musk Oud over the Oud. You know, it's such a small community. I wouldn't be surprised if, they all know each other, all the perfumers and people at that level. Terry Wasser and Roja know each other from his days at Guerlain. Well, Terry Wasser hasn't really been there all that long. I don't think he's been there 20 years yet. And I have a feeling Roja's been gone from Guerlain. It's been over 20 years. He launched his brand. When was it? It's got to be at least 10 years that Roja's been producing perfumes. Have I tried Great Britain? Have I tried Dilla? I tried a lot, and I have all these sample atomizers that Roja sent, and I can't remember what I have tried or not. I'd have to go back. But I remember I loved pretty much everything I had tried. It's on such a higher level than most things. But that's what you're paying for. That's what Roja prices are for. Have you tried L'Artisan? I haven't. I have not. Hey. Love you too, Sob. Amber Oud smells more floral. Is Amber Oud, is it golden powdery hues? Is it resinous? Is it anything like Ombre Nuit from Christian Dior? If it is, maybe I won't need it. I'd love a bespoke scent if I'm. Who wouldn't love a Roja or a Guerlain bespoke? Oh, Crystal. There's Daniel. Yeah, Crystal. That's right. The clear ones are the Crystal. Your favorite Zerzhov? I'm not familiar with. We don't have Zerzhov retail here. The only Zerzhov I've tried are the ones I've blind bought, and it didn't do too well on me. I bought Gao, and I didn't like it. Yeah, bring pizza. Bring lots of pizza. I love pizza. They got Roja in Cape Town, but they don't have it in Canada anywhere. I wonder how many places in the U.S. carry Roja retail. What are your thoughts on Creation E? And I honestly I can't remember. I've tried a lot. In the video with Daniel, you can go back and see it sampling Roja's parfums. I think Enigma was there. I can't remember it. I've never taken it out for a ride. The only difference between the crystal version is the color of the perfume. It's clear as so it doesn't stain your clothes. But this apparently the smells are identical. Diaghilev is my scent of the day. Oak Moss is I love Diaghilev. I'm not sure if you were here earlier for the broadcast, but I was saying that I got Maria a bottle of Diaghilev for her birthday. She was here a couple of weeks back, and she picked up my bottle of Diaghilev, not knowing what it was. I guess it just looked intriguing or it stood out, and she had smelled it, and she literally almost fell over at how much she liked it. She kept asking me where did you get it? How much does it cost? Where can I get one or to get her one? So it's her birthday in the next couple of days, so I got her a bottle of Diaghilev. Get your nose on a Roja Black Tear. That is money in the bank right there. I bet it is. I bet it's a lot of money too. Diaghilev is definitely worth trying, especially if you love that Mitsuko Accord. From my interlude video. Man, that was so long ago. That was like 3 houses ago. Interlude. It was like the caveman interlude video. $37 bottles in. So you're opposite of Galen. Galen's 1 bottle in, 3 bottles out. And he wants to know how he can get to 0. What's up, Ashfaq? Ashfaq in the house. I'd love to have a bespoke experience, to have something created that I never imagined for myself, yet is so perfect that it changes how I understand. Yeah, I bet the experience is amazing. I remember talking to Sylvain Delacourt. She was at the time the creative director for Guerlain, and she was talking about bespokes and the process that you go through. I think it's like a 3-month process. It takes about 3 months, just not for them to finish it, but they have several talks with you, ask you what you like, what accords. They ask you, there's a huge questionnaire to fill out. It's not just about perfume, but your tastes in general. And then for, I think it was $35,000 you can get a Guerlain bespoke with 3 bottles, 3 refills. Thanks, Saab. It's family day here in Canada. I'm spending my day with you guys, my family. Problem with Amber Oud is it's too sweet. Good morning. Gao is not for everyone. No offense, Rafael. I know you love Zerzhov, and that's cool. I love people that love brands and they're devoted to their brands. I like seeing that. I see that quite often. People that love to dissect every perfume from a specific brand. It just wasn't for me, and that's okay. Lots of things like I love Frederick Malle, but at the same time, I'm his biggest critic. So if I do criticize, one of your favorite perfumes or one of your favorite, it's nothing personal. Don't take it personal. It's got nothing to do with you or the brand. It's me. It's all about me. I think I'm Frederick Malle's harshest critic, but his biggest fan at the same time. So Amber Oud is more floral, it seems like. I don't own any artisanals. I own a small sample that I reviewed of something that a viewer had sent me, and I loved it. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it was an apricot tobacco accord. Was it Ensar? Maybe it was a Bortnikov. I thought it was amazing. It smelled very natural, but I like the progression of it, the way it kind of developed on my skin. Yeah, maybe I should pull out that Gao and try it again. If you like Diaghilev, try vintage. I can't imagine it's any better. Like, my version of Diaghilev is glorious in every way. I can't even imagine an improvement. Chypre Palatin. I like Chypre Palatin a lot. Sayat Nova, that's right, Fosco. Yes, I really liked Sayat Nova. Did you guys like that at all? I thought it was great. All right, take it easy, Justin. Yes, somebody left a comment on one of my videos. Maybe it was you, Josh Moore, that Anne Filippo is the latest perfumer to join the Elite Frederick Malle Club. I'm so curious what they're going to do. But the rumors are starting to come out. Amber Oud is similar to Oud, but more sweet, and it has a patchouli and fig fruit. Amber Oud is similar. For me, Francesca Bianchi is my discovery love. That brand, everything. I tried is a most buy, even more than Les Indomptables. Now today we'll receive Etat Libre, almost complete. All right, so another vote for Francesca Bianchi. All right, Jared, good night. I think he's in the Philippines. 1 a.m.'s quite late. What's up, Rudy? Got to catch up sometime. It sounds like there's a cow outside my house, but there isn't. So what is it exactly? Ashfaq says, so far I bought 5. Got a large delivery from Sultan Pasha that I ordered in December. I intend to buy a few more later this year. All right, cool. All right. So there you go. Had a where's my bottle here? Musk Oud unboxing. Really like this. I don't know, like, what else interests me from Roja. If Amber Oud's too similar to Oud, maybe I won't get it. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it first. They do have a tester there. I didn't want to try it the same time as Musk Oud. I didn't want it to throw me off. I really liked Musk Oud, worth purchasing. So I'll try the Amber Oud the next time. I don't know what else is up my wheelhouse for Roja, but I'll have a look. I haven't tried many Tiziana Terenzis. I think I tried I can't remember the name, but the Portrait of a Lady clone or similar to. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. I've got some things to do. I want to get outside for a bit, catch some fresh air, maybe go for a run, start exercising. Yeah, just I want to get outdoors. I don't get a chance to see the day because I go to work and it's dark outside. I leave work and it's dark. So I definitely want to get as much sunlight as I possibly can because I'm one of those guys that gets moody in the wintertime when I don't get enough sun. So it's nice to have the day off and just kind of relax and unwind. But thanks all for coming on. We'll do this again soon. I appreciate you guys. Have a nice day. If you're home with your family, enjoy your family. If not, have a good day at work. But we'll see you soon.